Oh, man. Hey, props to him on sound design, but whew. I asked you if I should react to more of Gawx art, and you answered. So, you know the drill. But before that, I'm thinking about switching it up. Oh, what's going on? Okay, won't be needing this right now. All Artists Are Thieves by Gawx Art. Let's check it out.
There is one question every artist ever has been asked. What?
Alright, already you can see the shots are constantly moving in. It's creative choice, but that keeps the flow pretty smooth. The fact that all the shots that he's cutting to are all in that forward motion, so it all feels pretty smooth when it's cut together. That's what I'm getting at so far. So I'm excited to see how he builds this out in a film type of way.
Your inspiration. A question which led to the biggest project of my career, when I got it asked 4 hours ago by my brother.
Qué chido. ¿Qué te inspiró?
And I always answer the exact same thing.
No sé, la vida cotidiana, películas, redes sociales. Ya.
But it's much deeper than that. 10:40 p.m. May 11th.
Okay, that was pretty sick. We're going into this new chapter here, the backstory, but that transition back with the match cut, and I've said this before multiple times, simply a match cut is just lining up, if you're working with a face at least, lining up the eye line or the eyes for each cut, because you're looking at the eyes when you're looking at someone's face, and so when that's matched up, it makes the match cut look even better. So that's just a little tip for you if you want to, start doing some match cuts.
2003. I was born. The first thing I ever heard was the doctor's voice, the hospital's ambience, and Mendelssohn's violin concert. But it makes sense. Both of my parents are musicians, and my parents' parents, artists. My grandfather's paintings are all over the house.
I like that. I like the fact that he showed in the photo the person first, and then he cut the photo after. I thought that was pretty cool.
I grew up in, so it's safe to say that he was my first ever inspiration. Because of him, I got into painting classes when I was very young. That was the beginning of the person I have become. Time flew by. My experiences did too.
Man, he's really flowing nicely with this editing here. Yeah, I mean, this warp transitioned into the screen, blended really nicely. So the music so far and the pacing has been somewhat the same type of style. So like the music has been kind of upbeat, that classical, classic stuff that Gawx likes to use, the more classical type of strings and stuff like that. So I'm wondering if soon, he probably will in a second, kind of switch up and slow it down a little bit more and then keep going. But let's find out.
My parents would take me to museums. My old friends would draw alongside me. I would discover new artists, new art forms, and new art styles. I would start traveling, experimenting, and evolving. So I'm not sure what exactly inspires me. I guess everything does.
He adds subtle, kind of airy build-up and then build out in between some cuts that he does, which gives it some more depth in the editing and stuff like that. And just the fact that you can hear it behind the cut gives it more of a dramatic, cinematic when putting together the project itself. And so that's definitely a small detail that he does do a lot, and it's really sick.
Every art piece I have ever seen, every song I have ever heard, every person I have ever met. Inspiration is the rocket fuel powering our work, and I want to know how this rocket fuel works. All artists are thieves, and I want to figure out what it means to steal like an artist. So today I'm going to figure out how inspiration works. Or at least start doing so, because I have a plan, and it's not a simple one. You already know this game. You need at least 5 people to play it.
Okay, we got the classic duplication cut from Gawx. Just to quickly go over how you do this. In this instance, he took multiple shots of himself standing in different areas, and then in post, he masked around himself and then just blended it into the same shot. And that's how you kind of do that duplicate effect here. But multiple times I see here he's zooming out from his face, and he's adding a lot of motion throughout the clips in the project. There's zoom-ins and stuff, obviously, from the start that I mentioned. And then there's also these zoom-outs that I've seen a couple times here. So he's doing a good job at adding a good amount of motion throughout the project.
You line up. The first person comes.
Okay. I have a feeling we're going to be pausing a little bit more here because he's about to bust out a lot of the editing moves. Once again, but a little bit different approach you could take with this one is he rotoscoped himself out instead of just masking around him, because obviously he's overlaid. And so he just rotoscoped himself and put it over.
Comes up with a phrase and whispers it to the second one. The second one to the third one, and so on. Finally, the last person says the phrase he understood out loud.
I have a pet Komodo dragon.
Oh, whoa. These right here, okay. I won't pause for a little bit after this, unless he busts out some other super sick editing type of thing. But last thing I want to say, yeah, the rotoscope here looks pretty sick. Now that I'm looking at it, and this one specifically, same thing, rotoscoped, but he added a Gaussian blur over it to match the depth of the camera in this shot specifically.
Squirrel.
And you compare it with the phrase the first player came up with,
Same with
to
this.
see how much it evolved.
This video is brought to you by Lenovo and Intel.
You may know it as telephone. I know it as teléfono descompuesto. And I want to do the same thing. But instead of phrases, we'll use art. And instead of players, we'll use artists. So before I explain it further, let's find some participants.
Espresso!
The search began. It lasted days. I would wake up, browse the internet, find candidates, note them down.
Yeah, you see how it kind of slowed down a little bit there? And then it's going to kick back up here. Obviously, you got this jazzy type of track that's really building up. And through films and projects, especially with the projects that he's been doing, you want to add that contrast throughout the video so it's not all just the same thing and it doesn't get kind of repetitive, I guess would be the best term to put.
Even ask you for help. Reach out to tens of artists. Got some yes, got some no's, got some maybes, and some
I don't know.
But at the end, I managed to narrow my list to 6 artists. It was an all-star lineup, the true dream team. Here it is. 1. Gawx. 170 centimeters of pure epicness. He makes videos, he draws, he loves green,
Stop lying.
and he's fan of Bex.
Oh, that's true.
2. Bex. The father of
Yeah, you see that cut there with the music, the contrast there? Whenever the other version of him would talk, music would cut, and then it would start back up whenever he starts talking. And it kind of just gives it that little jitter kind of jump whenever you're listening and watching to the video.
doodle art. His work is iconic, energetic, and hypnotizing. And he's also a very stylish gentleman. 3. Gaku. He captures the streets of Tokyo like no one else. And this time, he will do it for our project. 4. Maria. Judging by her work, I would guess she lives in another world. But she's actually from Norway. Her art is just unreal.
I like how he's showing, with that shot specifically, here, let me go back. I like how he shows, instead of just showing the page specifically, like on in the edit itself, he actually took a video of his laptop and made it very aesthetically pleasing to the eye with the colors, the warm tones. That's another thing. The color grade, once again, classic Gawx type of grading. You got that film-ish type of cinema, and it's actually graded. Back to what I was saying. I like the fact that he's not just showing the screen in the edit and just popping it up like a screen recording. He took the time to set up his laptop and record it, and he got that motion again with zooming in and going to the side, but it gives it definitely a more unique and stylish way and approach to go about showing a, what is this, Facebook or something, Instagram? I just think that's sick.
The work, I would guess she
Unique.
lives in another world. But she's actually from Norway. Her art is just unreal. 4. Shudder Authority. VFX, action, sci-fi
Again.
short films. Hollywood, be careful because Shudder is getting real close. 6. Vanessa, a true legend. She turns dreams into reality, nostalgic masterpieces. And last but not least, Elliot is a cool guy. And he certainly is. But not only
I also like the fact that he records the lens that he has. Whenever he does that zoom in, he records that itself as well. It's like he's actually controlling the zoom, because he is, with the lens. I like that he does that as well.
him, also his art. I'm such a fan. Now it's time to let them know what this is all about.
Oh, man. Hey, props to him on sound design, but whew, I can feel that one. Yeah, so music stops now. I'm going to assume that the pacing and the tempo of this is going to slow down a bit here into more of a explanation type of feel, since you just did this dramatic cut, and then you got the subtle heartbeat sound effect, and then obviously his bones cracking, and then you got this riser behind it that's building tension into, I'm going to assume, the next section of this video, the next part. And the breathing. Got that.
Okay, let's do it. Mic on? Yes.
Hi Vex, how are you?
Yep.
Such an honor to collaborate with you in this project.
Thank you. I would say
This is also good too, which I do this a lot as well, but he's got this overlay, or he might have just recorded the screen, but he's got this overlay on top that gives it that pixely type of look, like it is a screen.
likewise.
Lovely to see you, Gawx. Nice to meet you officially. Hello.
I'm a big fan of your work. I love your videos.
I love your stuff. Thank you. Appreciate it.
And I have something in mind which I would like to present to you.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I was so nervous, but it was time to shine.
So yeah, I'm calling you because
Yep.
I'm working on this project in which I research how inspiration works.
Interesting. Okay, tell me about it.
But to be able to do it first,
I think that shot right there,
research how inspiration works.
yeah. I'm going to assume, because the way the laptop is positioned and how he's kind of moving his hands, it seems like he has it playing on the computer screen. He's shot at an angle where it looks like he's talking, but he just pressed play on the computer and then recorded a separate clip of him doing the hand motions as if he was talking. That's what I think is going on here.
Interesting. Okay, tell me about it.
But to be able to do it first, we need to work on some artworks. And this is where you and 5 other creatives come in.
I'm a graphic designer. You sure you want me?
So first, I will create an artwork, something simple, and I will send it to Vex with little to no context. Then you will need to create your own piece using the one I sent to you as inspiration.
And yeah, I was right about the change in tempo. It definitely slowed down a bit here. It's gotten into more of the conversation part of it. Yeah, I mean, simply here, he's kind of just explaining, showing the conversation, and the music brings out that curiosity. And some of the cuts here I'm seeing Like, let me find it.
So first,
Like right here, he cuts to the music, and you can see it as well.
and this is where you
Or hear
and
it.
5 other creatives come in.
I'm a graphic designer. You sure you want me?
Okay.
So first, I will create an artwork.
So he kind of cut with the beat there. Yeah, there's some subtle things like that going on throughout here.
Something simple, and I will send it to Vex with little to no context. Then you will need to create your own piece using the one I sent to you as inspiration, and Vex will send it to you. You will do the exact same thing and send it to the next creative, and so on. You will get yours from Gaku. You will get yours from Maria. You will get yours from Shutter. And you, Elliot, you will get yours from Vanessa.
I've never worked on anything this big before in my life. This is very exciting.
Once the circle is completed, the piece will come back to me and I will create the grand finale. I know this will take a lot of power, but don't worry, I have a device which can handle anything you throw at it. So, are you in?
Interesting.
Yeah. Yep, he's got all of them thinking to build up that tension on what they're going to decide. Obviously, they're going to decide yes. Otherwise, this video wouldn't be happening, probably. Just a quick comment on the video. It's a pretty sick idea. Definitely a very creative person, and we can obviously see that with the way he creates and his production process.
I'm definitely in.
Yeah, I'm in.
That sounds really exciting. I'm in.
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Super excited.
Yeah, I'm in. I like the sound of this, but Gawx, you got me thinking. Like, what device are we talking about here? Like, this sounds pretty special.
Yes, Elliot, you'd be right. This is pretty special. The Lenovo Yoga Slim 7i Aura Edition, imagined with Intel. A true powerhouse.
We got the sponsor. We got the sponsor.
To create something of this magnitude, we need a device capable of handling all kinds of workflows. The Yoga Slim 7i is all of that. 6K video, 3D animation.
There it is, once again. Which I got a few comments.
Yoga Slim 7i is all of that.
I got a few comments. I saw this effect in the last reaction. Cut to that real quick.
Doors to the biggest project of my career. So without further ado,
And I got a few different comments of how he created this. And yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you could create this. Like I said last time, I think I saw somebody said it was hung on a string or something. And I guess we can all have our own opinions. Leave a comment below how you think this was made. And
6K.
again, I'm going to say he either recorded it on like a green screen maybe and spun it, or he might have done some motion graphics.
Video, 3D animation, raw image files. Thanks to the Intel Core Ultra processor, it handles all of that and more, allowing every artist to create limitlessly, because all 7 creatives are going to use the same laptop to create their own artwork.
Again, subtle match cut there with the keyboard. So far I've noticed some of the things he likes to do a lot is the duplicated type of effect and match cuts. He likes to do that a lot in his style of projects and editing.
Once they finish it, they are going to ship it to different parts of the world to meet their temporary owners, and then it will come back to me. But you already know, show don't tell, so let me be the one to kick off the Creator Odyssey.
He had to, for the shot, he had to stand like that.
We'll come back.
Because you do not stand like this on a normal basis. But for the shot, he had to stand like this. So it's funny whenever you think about it.
But you already know, show don't tell, so let me be the one to kick off the Creator Odyssey. In my case,
okay. Yeah, so he added some tracking there to the door frame here on the left side, and then just keyframed the text with the Gaussian blur for it to go up whenever the movement starts going forward. Yeah, very subtle, but also clean.
In my case, inspiration was found 10,000 kilometers away from home, in Tokyo, Japan. But it was not the beautiful architecture, nature, or cities that inspired me. It was something much more unexpected. Street signs. Simple, clever, and creative. Just what I
I like this track a lot. I like what he's doing here a lot. It's slowed down right here and more of a kind of relaxing type of slowed down, not a building tension type of slowed down, if that makes sense.
Need to do for the first art piece. So I got to work. Created tens of sketches. Transferred them to the Yoga Slim 7i instantly using Smart Share. Discarded most, kept one. Added some details here, removed some there, and after some time, it was ready. This is anatomy of the artist's brain. Or at least of mine. Now it's time to discover Vex's. Because I shipped this laptop to him so that he could continue this project. And you can get one too. Every creator is going to give one of these laptops away, so go check them out and follow the journey. Because this is just the beginning of the biggest project of my career.
Oh! Wait. Does he... Yeah, so, well, one, I want to go back and look at his actual creation, what he made.
This is anatomy of the artist's brain. Or at least of mine. Now it's time to discover Vex's.
Yeah, looks pretty sick. Artistic, 100%. Yeah, the editing, once again, is on point. Adding things like, for instance, here, just background noise, sound effects, stuff like that.
Because I shipped this laptop to him so that he could continue this project. And you can get one too.
Yeah, it's the subtle stuff behind it that really builds out the video. Because if it was just his voiceover and the music, yeah, like it would be sick. But the subtle sound effects and ambience behind it is really what brings out the layers of a project and bringing depth to it. Which you probably heard me, if you watch me often, I say that a lot. Because a lot of these creators and people that make film understand what they're doing when they add that ambience and sound effects and stuff like that. So that's why it's being said, and I'm also seeing it a lot in these videos that I check out.
Now it's time.
Okay, yeah, I must have not paid attention. I guess I was focusing on the editing itself. I think so they all made different parts and put it together and kind of made the artwork. So, no, yeah, definitely, once again, very artistic in that sense. The project itself, very artistic and put together very well. Yeah, the overall idea and the way it was executed with the editing and production, really good. And yeah, it's impressive. Okay, that will be it for today. Now, I definitely do enjoy watching these. And if you want me to watch any of his other videos specifically, or any other content creators or videos on YouTube, you can leave a comment and suggest something. If not, you can check over here to look at my last Gawx reaction. And I'll see you at the next edit.